Welcome to Let's Talk Education on CastleRockRadio.com. I'm Liz Fagan, Superintendent of the Douglas County School District here in Colorado. And it is a gorgeous day in Colorado. I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. We're here every Wednesday talking about all things education, and usually Douglas County because, of course, that is our favorite and it's the best. And I can say that. So anyway, today we have a pretty exciting show for you about a couple things. Number one, our foundation in the school district. We do have a partner foundation, the Douglas County Educational Foundation, and we haven't talked about that before. And it's we had a great week last week in the foundation, so we definitely wanted to talk about that today. And also some of our community and business partnerships. You know, every good school district understands that they are a community partner. We all understand that we have a direct impact on the property values in our communities, that we are supplying the future workforce for our business leaders. And we take that very seriously here, and in fact have really reached out in ways that I haven't seen before in education to those business communities and business leaders, and have had just tremendous support back from them. And so today I'm excited to share all of that information also. So I'm going to start today by introducing the guests who are with us to talk about this, and give one particular guest a little time to discuss who she is, because I don't think I've ever had her on the phone, on the radio, one or the other. Amy Sherman is here with us today. Amy is the president of the Douglas County Educational Foundation's Board of Directors. She is new to that position, but she is not new to Douglas County at all. And so Amy, if you wouldn't mind, first, welcome to the show, and second, if you wouldn't mind, just kind of give us a little bit of history about you grew up here, and then also what you do in your for your real job.
Great. Well, thank you so much for having me on the show today. I did grow up here. I grew up in Castle Rock. We moved here in 1974 when there were not very many students or elementary schools, and I went to South Elementary. I believe there were 2 elementary schools here at the time. And then went to Castle Rock Junior High and then Douglas County High School, graduate of 1992. So long time resident of Douglas County, and we live in Roxborough and are very active in our PTIC group out there. And for my day job, I run the Northwest Douglas County Economic Development Corporation, which is all about economic development in that quadrant of the county.
Wow. And you have children?
I do. I have twins. They're going to be 4th graders at Roxborough Intermediate. And they love their school, and we've had great teachers, and we're very involved in all things Roxborough.
Well, that's great. So your PTIC is like a PTO, yes?
Yes. It's
okay.
One of the 100 chapters that we have in the foundation.
So you recently became the president of the foundation board. Let's talk a little bit about that. I have the impression with twin 4th graders and economic development in Northwest Douglas County that you're a busy woman, and so you were happy to step up and be the board president for the foundation.
Well, yes, I was more than happy to do it. I'm very honored. But my background really comes in nonprofit management. So I ran a Chamber of Commerce in Jefferson County for 10 years. I've probably served on more than a dozen board of directors. So I have certification in organizational management, which is really nonprofit management. So from running a nonprofit to being a board member on nonprofits, it was a perfect fit because it's a passion for me and my family. And I think I know what I'm doing.
Yes, you do. I completely agree. And last week, the foundation put on the first ever, and I know that you were a big partner in actually this launching out, the Love Our Schools Luncheon. So you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, there are some great fundraising models out there, and this is one of them where you invite a lot of business folks from the community, and then you tell them all about the foundation, the nonprofit organization, and show them really good examples of where the money goes, and then you ask them to contribute. And usually by the end of a luncheon, they are all on board and ready to write some checks. So I think our first annual Love Our Schools Luncheon was very successful. We had close to 200 people attend, a lot of new business community participants that hadn't been to a school district or foundation event before and are ready to participate in the future and hopefully come out for the golf tournament. And so it's a great fundraising model. It was a great first event, and I think we have a lot of new fans out there.
Oh, that's great to hear. And you were actually raising money for backpacks. It was actually not backpacks themselves, but in Douglas County School District, the foundation has taken on the whole notion that some students have a challenging time getting their school supplies together for the fall, and so the foundation has offered backpacks full of the school supplies that students will need to be successful in our schools. And I also have with me here Cinnamon Watson, who's the Community Relations Officer for the Douglas County School District and also the director of the foundation, the interim director of the foundation. And Cinnamon, do you want to tell us a little bit about the backpack fundraiser and the history of it and how many backpacks you give out a year?
Sure. This year we just launched, as a matter of fact, yesterday, our annual school supply drive. It's been a really incredible gift, I think, to a lot of students over the years. And in fact, last year we gave out 600 backpacks worth of supplies to elementary, middle, and high school students. And then we even had some extra supplies left over to give to teachers in the classroom. And this year we've gone out even further and made a lot more community partners. And we have tons of people involved. You can drop off supplies anywhere from Douglas County Library starting July 20th, or to Skyridge Hospital, or to any number of local businesses that are located on our website. And we hope to even do better than that 600 number this year.
600 backpacks, so that's a lot of students that need support in having their school supplies for them. Were you surprised by that?
I think so. I think the image of Douglas County is one that people can afford anything they need to. It's an affluent district, but we definitely have students in need, and we want to make sure that we give them every opportunity to succeed, and that means supplying them with all the tools from calculators to pencils to hand sanitizer.
Oh, yes, the hand sanitizer.
The hand sanitizer is a big one for elementary
yeah,
students.
Yeah, it is. It's a great idea. And then the other things on the list included items like iPads and scholarships for travel to Destination Imagination and outdoor education opportunities. So you offered like a menu of options to people who attended the lunch, and they could choose if they wanted to buy a backpack for a student, if they wanted to buy an iPad, if they wanted to sponsor a student go to the Outdoor Education Center. What was the response like to that?
I think it was tremendous. I think the Douglas County Educational Foundation is a well-kept secret in Douglas County, that we're trying to break out of that mold and let people know all of the great things that we do. And it was an opportunity to showcase a lot of our programs and where some of our needs are. We have a lot of students that go to the Outdoor Education Center, which was a partnership with the Douglas County Commissioners when we put that together last year. And we have students that can't afford to go, so we want to fund scholarships so everybody can attend. We want to put more iPads in the classroom, more technology to our teachers and our students. And we were fortunate enough to announce one of our largest grants this year, which was $20,000 to Sedalia Elementary School to provide iPads for their classroom and their students. Other options on the list were to fund travel for some of our amazing students that succeed in state, everything from debate championships to Destination Imagination, and we want to fund their opportunities to go seek national scholarships at national competitions. We also had the opportunity to give any amount that you wanted for any program that you saw you'd like.
Right, they always offer that.
Yes.
Every fundraiser I've ever been to, there's always that box, and another amount for the item of your choice. Right.
And a reoccurring payment every year.
Yeah, I get those too. There's some of them that actually makes it easier for me than having to figure it out every year. But yeah. So are you planning on making this an annual event or a biannual event, or what are you thinking? Obviously you've only done it one time, and it was very successful. And so I'm just curious if there's any thought about that yet.
Absolutely. I would like to do it again. We've had so many positive comments from attendees and people that have emailed and said, we'd like our business to buy 2 iPads, or when is the next one? And are there other things that are on the menu that we could think about? So I think there's so much interest, and now that people have seen the model and participated, that they would invite their friends and we'd have more table captains. So absolutely, I'd like to do it again.
How about you, Cinnamon? I know that it's a lot of, the foundation actually, it is a well-kept secret, but you actually have a calendar that shows that you all have basically a major event almost every month of the year.
We do. Again, it's that well-kept secret that we're trying to break out of. But, to your question about the Love Our Schools lunch, it was such a great opportunity to showcase everything from our chapters that raise money for the arts to the Outdoor Ed Center that we definitely want to do it again. And heck, we might even do it twice a year.
Wow.
Which is ambitious.
That is ambitious, but I like it.
But I think so. And you're right, we do have major events coming up. We have our annual Golf for Education tournament. Last year, we raised nearly $70,000 for all of these different programs. And of course, we have set our goal even higher this year, and that's in July. In August, we have a big chapter event. I think one thing that's unique about Douglas County and our educational foundation is we house and provide services to all of the booster clubs and PTO chapters in Douglas County, which now we just tipped over that 100 mark. So we have booster clubs at Roxborough, and we have Ponderosa high school theater parents that are raising money for their students, and we provide liability insurance, support for fundraising, accounting needs, and a whole host of things for those chapters.
So that's great. So as a service, obviously you're a foundation, you raise money for the school district and for school district related student needs, but you're also going that next step of actually offering a level of service and support to PTO chapters like the one you're in Roxborough all across the school district, so that sometimes there are challenges with managing PTO chapters in a large school district. That has happened before. And you're offering a service that really ensures quality and no problems and transparency and all of those things, and just high levels of customer service. Is there more to it than that?
Well, I think providing some consistency. Every PTO chapter changes leadership every year as students matriculate to the next grade level and that sort of thing. So I think having that level of consistency is really helpful. And we've also been able to capitalize on economies of scale. So we have a couple of chapters that do barbecues, and they share, the event space and do them at different times and team up. We certainly have chapters that share best practices and work together to raise money.
Oh, that's a great idea, to have that cross-pollination of different chapters learning from one another. I actually have seen that happen. Some of our chapters do some incredible events, the Denim and Diamond stuff, and there's similar ones like that all over the place. And once they hear about those and share that information, you see it sort of spread across. I was going to say like wildfire, but I think I'll stay away from that today. That's maybe not the best comment in Colorado today. So that's also a great connector for all of those people. We actually have to take a break. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about the amazing PTO programs we have throughout our school district, and hear a little bit about some of the things that they do and how the foundation supports them, and then move into some of our other areas that the foundation has been doing. You've been listening to Let's Talk Education on CastleRockRadio.com, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Let's Talk Education on CastleRockRadio.com. I'm Liz Fagan, Superintendent of the Douglas County School District right here in Colorado. And we're here every Wednesday talking about all things education, usually Douglas County, and certainly appreciate everybody who takes the time to listen to the live show or to the archives. And the archives are really easy to access these days because we even label the show with the content that we did that day, so you can easily find the topic that you're interested in. Today, we're having a great show on community partnerships for our school district, but also the role of our foundation and the way that it serves not just the students of Douglas County directly by raising dollars for things like backpacks and iPads and scholarships to the Outdoor Education Center and all of these items. It does far more than that. We were talking about the way that it supports our PTO chapters throughout the school district, and we think that's a pretty unique model that we haven't seen in a lot of places. I know that as a former high school principal, there were times when various booster clubs or PTO groups would have some concerns or not get along for a moment, and there's some of that accounting stuff and IRS issues, whatever. And so what a great service and support to our phenomenal chapters, which, by the way, do things I have never seen before in their events. By the way, the Roxborough group is huge.
Huge.
It's huge. How many people are actually in the PTO there?
I want to say last year we had over 90 chairs of a specific program or event just within our school.
Yeah, I cannot believe that. I will tell you, that is just so unusual. I remember it was my first year, and I came to that was my first experience with the Roxborough group. And I walked in the room, I could not believe the number of people in there. It was packed, and everybody just so engaged, working on various things, like you said, projects, and really invested in making those two elementary schools out there the best ever.
Absolutely. We have matching T-shirts that we wear
do.
for everything. And I have to tell you, my husband, when my twins went to kindergarten and then we started getting involved, my husband went, and there were like 90 women, and he was the only man. And he came home, and he was the biggest cheerleader and got his T-shirt on, and he runs the Be a Mentor, Be a Man program, does all the golf tournament, car wash stuff. And he has gotten so many more dads involved that it's just really amazing because it's just growing every month.
Well, I've got to talk to my husband about this because he would have said before that we have a young daughter, so that would be a little challenging for him. But now that she's older, I could see this working out where he could be part of the... He probably does think it's a room full of women, though.
They do the Father-Daughter Day dance. I mean,
Ooh.
they do really cool stuff. And the men get to wear these bright orange T-shirts that say Bam Bam on them. So they're cooler T-shirts. And,
I love it.
Do the muffins with mom. And so they do things that are really important to show that the dads are involved. And
you guys are so innovative. What I love about it is one of the things that make the Douglas County School District special, in my view, is that we truly do believe that the education of children is a partnership with their parents. Mm-hmm. And we believe that in the choice that we offer, we believe that in the support we want to offer these PTOs through our foundation. But we really believe it's a partnership. And you guys are really you exemplify that in that you do these things like muffins with mom and the father-daughter dance and all of these kind of things that show that it is truly a partnership. So, but you guys have a big fundraiser too, right?
We do. We have a big auction every year. And when we were talking about all the great things the foundation helps with, those things can be accounting nightmares for volunteers. And
yes.
So when we first started getting involved, like I'm going to Costco and buying hot dogs and buns, and you need to get reimbursed. And the foundation has great forms that are all consistent for all the chapters, and you work with the bookkeeping to get your reimbursements. And so a lot of parents put a lot of money out and then have to work with foundation to get reimbursed. So there's so many pieces to running a big event and the accounting of the event that the foundation has just been so helpful with. So yeah, I mean, lots of great fundraisers within our chapter, but we really couldn't do it without the administrative support of the foundation.
Well, I'm impressed, Amy, that you have you're part of that active PTO, which you guys don't call it a PTO, I know, but that's my generic term. And then you take on president of the district foundation, which is a huge job. And we have just touched the surface by talking a little bit about the Love Our Schools luncheon, which was brand new, and I know it was partially your baby on that. And you did a great job. What a great event that was. Very proud of the business leaders that came together and supported our school district. That was incredible. And then from there, you support the PTO chapters with this sort of accounting and bookkeeping and helping with taxes and all of that. But that just scratches the surface because we've also talked about backpacks and all of these scholarship sort of opportunities. We haven't even hit on the fact that you do the Apple Awards every year, and that gets bigger every single year. What a huge point of pride. Do you want to talk about a little bit about the Apple Awards and where you see that going?
That was my first time attending the Apple Awards, and I was blown away at the participation from the teachers in the room, the businesses that were there to support it, and then everyone that was highlighted. I mean, you almost get teary for each story. I mean, their teachers are so dedicated, and they're all there to support each other. A lot of hooting and hollering in the audience, and it just makes you really proud to be part of the district and know the quality of the teachers that they're honoring that night. So I loved it.
What do you think, Cinnamon? Any thoughts on the Apple Awards going forward?
Well, I think it's amazing. This year we had over 10,000 nominations, parents, students, and colleagues supporting their teachers, other employees in the district. And it's just a phenomenal event, and it's a great week to recognize excellence in our district, excellence among our teachers, among our classified staff, and we're looking forward to next year.
Yeah, and you guys also support, you do the Golf for Education, but then you support Golf for Grads, which is an administrator-run golf tournament to do scholarships for students who are going to be graduating who have some hardships. You guys have taken on the support of Golf for Grads as well as some of the fun run stuff that we've done, and our nutrition services department is incredible. I've had them on a few times, and they do Feast in the Field, and the foundation has really stepped up to be that partner with all of these groups that want to do good things for students.
It's part of our well-kept secret, and you referenced,
it's not going to be a secret today, but okay.
You referenced an event a month, and in September and October, we're working on the Fit It In 5K to raise wellness and health issues to our students, parents, and our staff. The career fair, which we highlighted at the Love Our Schools luncheon, is this November. It'll be our second annual. Last year we had about 5,000 eighth graders participate with 75 different businesses talking about career options. And it was such a huge success that we could not do it again this year. And then, November also starts the nominations for the Apple Awards, and then we certainly support some of our holiday events for students in need during the holiday season, and then roll right into the Apple Awards and Golf for Grads and a whole host of exciting things in the foundation.
Wow, that is a huge list of items. And what amazes me about you both is that you're always talking about what else you can do and who else you can help and what's the next level. And that's very characteristic. I know Cinnamon well from being on my team, and Amy has definitely added that flavor to the board also is, yeah, let's do that. Let's take that on. We're ready. Let's go, which has been really nice to have. And speaking of businesses and community partners, we also have with us today Linda Watson. And Linda works for Sky Ridge Medical Center. And I won't steal your thunder here, Linda. Could you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do for Sky Ridge and how you became involved with the Douglas County School District?
Thanks, Liz. Well, Sky Ridge, we were the first hospital open in Douglas County. And so we have always had a tradition of being very engaged, very community focused, very connected to our parents and families, people that use our services. So we want them to feel part of us as well. So it was a natural that, Amy, maybe for me, maybe 6-7 years ago, I got involved with the Douglas County Educational Foundation, and it's been an amazing venture. From that partnership, we started doing some things with the district Career Connect program, which matches some of our healthcare professionals with students interested in a medical career. And our team loves being involved in that. They love sharing their knowledge. They love showing the kinds of classes that they needed to take, what kind of career track they needed to be on to go to the next level.
Wow. So you guys this year, I'm going to end up hitting my break here in a second, so I don't want to collide with that. But I definitely want to spend some time talking about the fact that you and many members of Sky Ridge were actually at the Love Our Schools luncheon, and the big announcement we made there was that Sky Ridge has identified Douglas County School District as a Partner of the Year. So when we come back, I want to talk about what does that mean, and what does that mean for Sky Ridge? And a lot of people out there saying, well, how does a hospital partner with a school district? And although I can see 100 great ways, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. You've been listening to Let's Talk Education on CastleRockRadio.com, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Let's Talk Education on CastleRockRadio.com. I'm Liz Fagan, Superintendent of the Douglas County School District here in Colorado. And we're here every Wednesday at 3 p.m. talking about all things education and usually Douglas County. And we absolutely hit every corner of the school district. We talk about everything from assessments to curriculum to school safety to, you name it, I think we have covered it. School lunch. And today we've gone down the path of talking about the work going on in our foundation, the best kept secret in Douglas County. Linda, before the break, Linda Watson and I were talking about the new partnership that's sort of formally announced. We've always had a bit of a partnership, but now we've sort of formally announced it as the Partner of the Year with the Douglas County School District. But Linda, too, sits on the board of the foundation, which I think is worth noting also. So you volunteered before we were official partners as a foundation board member.
Yes. I have a wonderful connection. I just have to give you a little historical perspective.
Okay.
For my parents were both in school systems back east. My mom worked in the schools. My dad was on the Board of Education. In fact, I tell stories for the foundation that my dad actually handed me my diploma from high school as a board member.
Oh.
So really special. So there's always been a passion of my own related to the education area. So getting involved for me with the Douglas County Educational Foundation was just a wonderful fit. But then we started doing some work from a Sky Ridge perspective, getting involved, getting engaged, involving our employees, many of whom have children in the district. And it became wow, we have this opportunity to work together in a more unified way, put a strategic plan together, name the district our community partner of the year, and really take this of our own personal giving, our employee involvement, our financial involvement into a new level. So we've been very, very proud to announce that partnership at the luncheon last week.
Well, we felt very honored that you would choose us as their community partner of the year. We have worked very hard to have an incredible partnership with Douglas County law enforcement agencies, and that has just presented so many benefits for our students in more ways than I think we could have 10 more shows on that. But and so I'm really excited about this notion of going to the next step and really having this tight partnership with Skyridge and with the healthcare system that supports our students, and that frankly our students may be the future workforce for hospitals like Skyridge. During the break, you were talking about the fact that you have a vested interest at Skyridge in connecting with Douglas County students, and you actually talked about one particular student that was just such a great example of why this partnership is so important. A student who used to volunteer at your hospital. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely, thank you. This is one of our brightest moments. Many of the students in the district come to Skyridge for the exposure to really get involved from their community service, take on a new opportunity. But there are other students that are really following their passion. They know that they're really looking to become a medical professional, whether that's a nurse, a doctor, a technician, working in the lab where they can dabble in science and not necessarily work with patients. Very different areas, but we have this amazing student who his mom works for the Douglas County Sheriff, so it really is a nice connection here.
6 degrees of separation.
Yes, exactly. And he came into our team and has been working in our emergency department, and in fact, he took on the lead role of training all of our junior volunteers in the pediatrics program at Skyridge. So essentially his passion was, how can I make this experience for siblings and patients who are coming in? It could be a little scary. How can I reduce their anxiety? How can I make them comfortable with the hospital experience? And he did an amazing job of starting those connections to the parents and the children. And this is a 17-year-old.
Right.
I mean, he just has, I just can't speak enough about him. But in any event, who at 17 knows they want to be a pediatric thoracic surgeon?
Not very
I
many
certainly
people.
didn't know that at that age. But and I'm proud to say that he has just been accepted to Dartmouth, and we know that probably in about 10-ish years, we're going to have him back in our hospital being a pediatric thoracic surgeon at Skyridge.
Wow, that's so great. Because, one thing we've really learned in education is that it's such a huge benefit to our students when they get to connect to a career or an opportunity in a way that really touches their heart and also challenges them. Tony Wagner puts it, it connects their play, passion, and purpose all together. And this is such a great example of that. And so when students go through high school and they don't have that connection, they sort of say, well, I'm going to try this major, I'm going to try that major. And we all hear parents talking about, boy, I wish my kid would pick a major, and it's taken 5 years, and these kind of things. When these students connect, boy, they really connect, and they see themselves in the role. They just sort of find their personal passion, and then they connect it to their future, and they perform at higher levels as a result of that. So what a great opportunity for the students in the Douglas County School District to connect with Skyridge, but also a great opportunity for Skyridge because, as you've mentioned, as Maureen mentioned at the luncheon, we have incredible, talented students that when they come, you were joking about your intern, somebody asking you if she was actually your new PR person, right? Because she was so sophisticated and
poised,
yes,
professional, mature, deadline oriented. She kept me on track.
We love to hear these things about our students, Linda. I just want you to know that that's such great feedback for our teachers who are incredibly talented also and bring our students into that space. So those are great stories and just powerful opportunities for students. We actually have we have one medical program at Chaparral High School in our district where students have to get up at before dawn. I'm not kidding you. It is so early. They shuffle in their slippers and their Starbucks and barely awake so that they can see and hear from doctors who come in before their rounds. And we have huge interest in this course. So we know that having Skyridge as a partner, more opportunities for students, is going to be really popular in our school district.
That's wonderful. And that is the part about healthcare that we all have to realize. It is a 24-hour-a-day business, 365. And I think giving students exposure to what it really is like to work in a hospital gives them an opportunity to assess, does this work? Will this work for me down the road? I'm passionate about this area. Maybe I'll do it in a hospital setting. Maybe I'll do it in a professional office setting. Maybe I'll do it in an outpatient setting. But it gives them that exposure so they can really choose a path that works for them and their lifestyle.
So have you guys talked at all about what kind of things that this notion of Partner of the Year may entail, or that you're kind of dreaming about or thinking about, or just any ideas at all that you want to put out there as a teaser for people?
Absolutely. Well, Cinnamon and I have been working quite ferociously on getting a good plan together that's going to be beneficial to everyone, particularly our students and the teachers, because they're an important component of how this partnership is going to work. So not only are we going to expand our relationship in the Career Connect program, we'll certainly be involved in the 8th grade health of course I would say it was a health expo. Well, there is, 1 in 5 jobs in the future is in the healthcare arena. So just had to put that little plug in there. But, the beauty of that is that our employees love to get involved. They love to teach. By nature, many people in the healthcare arena have a sense of nurturing, and they want to teach. They teach their patients how to take better care of themselves. So it's a natural relationship for them to want to go to these kinds of events where they can showcase their knowledge, work with the students, give them a real sense of what's going on, and give them the real insight as to what it takes to do their job. So Career Connect, the expo, we're looking at how can we expand health education to our students, our parents, our teachers, through whether it's community education events, information through through the app. We're looking at how can we put our team together to help in the Outdoor Education Center and get everybody involved and engaged in that, because during the luncheon, we had a number of folks that were there from Skyridge who didn't know about that program personally, and they were wowed by it, because when I left that afternoon, we went back to work, and people were like, whoa, how do we get involved in doing something there? That is really cool. I wish I had that when I was a student. So really, those are the kinds of things that we're going to be looking forward to doing over the coming year.
The other thing I was thinking about, not to put you on the spot or anything, Linda, but, we do have a fair number of nurses in our school district, and we're not required by law to have nurses in our school district, but we are so committed to student safety and doing whatever it is we can do to provide the highest levels of support for our students. And what a cool opportunity for us to have a better connection with our nurses and your healthcare folks, and just sort of like we've done with our school safety and security people and the law enforcement folks. There's just a great relationship there, and we've improved the communication and the relationships and just everything by having a more intentional, I guess, relationship. It's not just us saying, calling the police when we need them. It's a proactive relationship. I'm wondering what your thoughts are about that part of our organization that is not really our core mission, but it's certainly central to our core mission, that our students have that health services that we provide in our school district.
Absolutely. I think that is a natural partnership. Take an issue like immunization, for example. I know that is a very hot topic. There's a lot of information out in the community that may or may not be accurate. We'd like to be able to provide the best information to parents, the best support to the nurses in the school system to keep kids healthy. I don't want to bring up a negative, but I'm going to. You might have seen in the paper that there was a recent case of measles.
Yes, I did see that.
And,
my daughter had a rash that day. I thought,
exactly. Well, I was itching all day myself.
Were you?
I really
Yeah.
must say that.
I'm not sure I know what a measles looks like, but I was worried.
But, to bring that up, that we are not immune to those kinds of things, and how important it is to keep kids safe through appropriate immunization. Other issues like obesity. How do we continue to work with kids and parents and the nurses in the school district
And nutrition services.
and nutrition services, exactly, so that we can really keep our kids as healthy as they can be. So natural synergy there. I'm looking forward to doing some more collaborative events together, bringing our team down into the district where requested, or having some of if the nurses wanted to come up to Skyridge and spend time with our team members. Absolutely. Those are the kinds of things that are going to make this a unique and long-lasting partnership, that it's not just the community partner of 2013, but it's 2013 and beyond.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I mean, this reminds me of the school marshal program we're launching in the fall. And, we could have just kind of turned inward on ourselves and said, this is our money and these are our schools and we're going to hire people and we're going to train them and they're going to do all these things. But we recognize that the strength of a partnership with law enforcement, this is their daily expertise. This is what they know and do every single day. That's not what we know and do every day. And so instead, we turned to them and said, we'd like to do this as a partner, and we're happy to pay for this program for the 9 months of the school year, but we need your support. We need you to help us with the training. We need you to help us with the supervision and the opportunities for these people to do their gun tests and stuff we don't even understand fully. Every one of those community partners stepped up like nothing I've ever seen and said, absolutely, we want to partner with you on this. We'll bring our expertise. We'll bring the care we have for students and these communities, and we'll create this program that doesn't exist anywhere else in the country to show that we can have a scaffolding and layers of support for children that will provide the highest level of safety and security that we know is possible. Nothing's perfect, but this is absolutely a higher level than we've ever seen before. So love to bring that level of partnership and training opportunities and collaboration in the healthcare field. We deal with traumatic brain injury issues with our athletics a lot. We have a nationally recognized brain trauma team, but certainly not like you do.
Yes, and the concussion program that we initiated at Skyridge with Douglas County Schools.
Yes.
And it has been a wonderful educational opportunity, because I think that in the past people had different perceptions of what back to activity really meant. Mm-hmm. What happens with a concussion? What are the dangers of second concussion in a young person? So being able to work on those things to get to your point, Liz, of keeping kids safe and healthy.
Yes, safe and healthy. I love it. I love the nurses, the trainers. We have athletic trainers. We have assistant trainers. We have, again, that head trauma team. Love to partner on all those items and bring the expertise and excellence of Skyridge into the commitment that Douglas County has for the very highest safety for our students and healthiness. Although we definitely depend on our parents for part of that healthiness stuff. But nutrition services, big contributor. We have to take our last break, and we'll be back and finish talking about the partnership with Skyridge Medical Center as well as some of the foundation things. You've been listening to Let's Talk Education on CastleRockRadio.com, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Let's Talk Education on CastleRockRadio.com. I'm Liz Fagan, Superintendent of the Douglas County School District here in Colorado, the greatest school district ever. And I do get to say that because I am the superintendent, but it's really true. If you'd like to come see for yourself, we're always happy to have people. Today, we are here every Wednesday around 3 p.m., actually right at 3 p.m., talking about all things education, and definitely appreciate people who take the time to listen to this or the archive version. One thing that we believe strongly is that education is the community, and the community is the education, and education impacts everyone. So appreciate people who invest in whatever way they can to be part of the educational system in their community or anywhere else. And I have two of those people here today. we have Amy Sherman, who actually is a Douglas County graduate and now a parent, a community member. She also is the president of the Douglas County Educational Foundation Board and has really pushed the envelope since her new role in that by establishing with Cinnamon the first ever Love Our Schools luncheon and bringing business leaders in. Amy, the perception I have, I've presented to several business groups, economic development groups, chambers. The perception I have is that the business community wants to understand what's going on in our school district, and when they have been part of those conversations, they're very supportive. Is that your experience?
Absolutely. And I came from a Chamber of Commerce background. I think I met Linda at a chamber event when I first met her. So we know firsthand that businesses want to know what's going on in the school district, and they care a lot about the success of the school district, and they know it's the future workforce. So there's a direct tie with economic development chambers and the school district. So that's very important. But going back to the board members on the foundation, they represent a diverse set of businesses, and they're well-connected people. And we really have a mission for it not to be the best kept secret in the county. We want to spread the good word to the entire business community through all the chambers, through all the economic developments, and have that partnership where the businesses can help raise money for the foundation. They can understand what's going on in the school district and hear the great news that we get to hear as board members and the presentations we get to see. So we just want to help spread the good word of what's going on and help the business community get engaged.
Well, Cinnamon, you've actually done a lot of work on behalf of your district role of Community Relations Officer in talking with Castle Rock Economic Development, Castle Rock Chamber, South Metro Denver Chamber. Yes. I always have to think about all of these different names and terminologies and this and that. And several of those groups have enthusiastically supported the school district, even though, sometimes change is challenging. Although businesses know that, and they also know change is necessary to continue to be the best. And Douglas County is committed to being the best for our students. And so you've gone to them, made sure that they had the information about the change that we're doing, why we're doing it, why it's so important for our students, how it will positively impact their businesses. And the response has been great. Would you like to talk a little bit about the endorsements and the response?
Yeah, I think our business community is well aware of the fact that strong schools make for a strong community. It fosters economic development. It's why businesses want to move here. And we're turning out a great workforce. So we have all of those things going for us, and we're really fortunate and blessed to have that business support. Recently, the South Metro Chamber endorsed our Pay for Performance program. That's a tough one.
That is, P4P, yep.
But they've done everything they can to help us spread the word about the great things going on in Douglas County and how we're attracting and retaining the very best teachers. And they've been incredibly supportive, as has the Castle Rock EDC and the Castle Rock Chamber and a number of other groups here in Douglas County. And I think those relationships help the school district. In fact, I think there was a young lady at the luncheon that came with her uncle who was with the chamber and said, I want to be a teacher and I only want to teach in Douglas County. What do I do? And it's so nice to hear those words and hear the enthusiasm and the passion for what we're doing here in Douglas County.
Yeah, I met her too, and she absolutely was excited and very well versed in what is a world-class education. Really understood the differences of what we're doing and then what you normally see in a lot of educational settings. And she definitely wanted to be part of that. Very enthusiastic. It was very.
We love that passion.
We love that, and to come to the lunch to make sure she could let us know, that was great too. But the business community has been incredibly supportive, and even though it can be challenging to support a district going through a significant change because there can be a little bit turbulence. Anytime you want to make a significant change in a 100-year-old institution, you're going to have some turbulence. But the business community has stood strong because they understand that that's what change is about. They do it themselves. You're sort of nodding, Linda. Do you want to talk about? What are you thinking about that?
Well, I think that makes total sense because in a business community, if you stay the same, you don't grow, you don't expand, you soon wither and die. Mm-hmm. Any business leader will know that the words that you're using and describing the vision, the creativity, the passion, the innovation, those are the attributes that we all need to continue to succeed. And I'd take, for example, a location like Skyridge, where we are now embarking upon our 10th year. And we're reinventing ourselves again. We have to continually grow and determine what is the next course of action. How can we continue to be the very best and deliver on our promise of beyond your expectations? And you can't be the status quo to do that.
I completely agree with that. And we have literally thousands of amazing and talented teachers here in this school district who want to be the best and are the best and are leading the way in rethinking some of the things that we've done in a profession that I love, but a world that has changed and students who are different. And we're very excited about all of the things that the foundation is doing to support our students and our schools, the way that our PTO chapters, I tell you, there is not a school district in America that has more parent involvement than Douglas County. We are, you cannot walk into Larkspur Elementary and put one more name badge on that volunteer name badge holder, because they are full, that is packed full, and that's the case at every one of our schools. Parent involvement is amazing here. The PTOs are amazing. This just really is a quality school district and aspires to be even more. And Linda has inspired us today with this Skyridge partnership and all that is possible in working together. Just what is the next level we can bring to our students in our athletic training and in our head trauma team and in our nurses and even in our coaches who are with students sometimes when they're injured and that's not their area of expertise. I remember I was a high school boys and girls tennis coach, and I remember the one course we took, in medicine, it was about taping ankles and stuff. I wouldn't say it would go that far in a very serious situation, but it's the minimum requirement kind of thing. And Douglas County is always above the minimum requirements. We want to be the best. We want the best for our students. What an exciting opportunity for us to work together with the world-class physicians and clinicians that you all bring to the Douglas County area that serve and support our students and families. Any last thoughts or words on the future of this partnership, where it's going, and where you want to go first?
It's going nowhere but up.
Yes.
It's a wonderful partnership. We are thrilled to be part of the district, being engaged and involved, and I'm looking so forward to providing our parents, students, and teachers with the world-class kinds of activities that we are both known for.
Absolutely. That's so true. That's the beautiful thing about Douglas County. What a great place to live. A total gift to a family. A place where you have the best of law enforcement and public protection. The best of healthcare, the best of business community. Just really an incredible place. And we want to be the best of school and education in America so that we're setting the stage. That's what we've been, and that's where we're going to continue to be. You've been listening to Let's Talk Education on CastleRockRadio.com, and I sure hope you get to listen next week.